Just huge. This is like so long. Your hair is so long.
Party in the front.
Perm it. There's perm in the side.
Perm it.
I'm joking. Yeah. So are we keeping all this length?
You can take a little bit of this off because maybe this is just getting kind of crazy.
It's getting a bit. It's really heavy.
I'm filming my haircut today, guys, because I wanted to talk to Kelly about. Dude, this is Kelly. He's awesome. He like does a million things.
Which we don't need to list, so we'll be fixed around that.
Yeah. I thought I'd take this opportunity to showcase my lovely styles that Kelly provides, and to talk about how I think to talk a little bit about gender equality. I really think it's lame that girl and guy hair prices are different, and I really respect Kelly because he charges a flat rate. I'm a girl.
Are you?
I'm a girl. I have short hair, and my hair's like pretty involved. Would you say, Kelly? Like, there's lots of little snips that he has to do. We have the power to make changes in this world. And I feel like we shouldn't stand for hair prices being super high for girls and half the price for guys.
The hair industry in particular, and a lot of industries revolving around aesthetic and fashion, suggest to women, certainly to a point where it kind of forces them to believe that they need to spend a certain amount of money in order to be a modern woman. The trajectory that we need to kind of understand to focus on how we got to where we are, because previous to that, when you look at the Victorian and Edwardian eras, men and women of a certain stature put the same amount of effort into their look. They all wore wigs. Everybody wore wigs.
Yeah.
The wigs were patterned. Everybody had servants to dress them. They were corseted. They laced up their shoes. There was and previous to that, historically, like thousands of years ago, men and women actually put the same amount of effort into their look. But something shifted in the 1800s, and I can speak to the idea that there are many reasons why this shift happened, but there started to become a conversation that it took more effort for a woman to be a woman than it took for a man to be a man. And I think a major change in that was obviously, women's right to vote at the turn of the past century. That shift brought a lot of attention to the fact that there were many industries and many ideas around the world that were pitting women against each other and against men for equality. And the only way that one could really consider to be equal, because you weren't that person yet, you couldn't vote in the world, was to spend more effort and more money on yourself. I don't understand why the industry still tends to enforce this idea. I mean, at the end of the day, I do spend the exact same amount of time cutting any of my male clients' hair as I do my female clients. I don't believe that sort of separation is necessary, and I found it to be offensive, because it is basically telling women that they need to pay more in order to be pretty. So that's just some thoughts about how we kind of got to where we were. I mean, it's be hours and hours and hours of discussion as to how the modern woman is pitched to from media, from Hollywood. There's a new movie that's out right now called Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz, who I love and adore and always makes me laugh, and that guy who is in Leaving Sarah Marshall, totally blanking on his name. But the poster, doesn't really matter. The poster is what I want to speak about, and this is it's reflective of what we're even talking about the equality of representation. And I think that Cameron Diaz is the sort of woman who's kind of in charge of her career. I don't really think anybody's telling Cameron Diaz what to do. No. But in this poster, she's wearing a pair of tiny, tiny, tiny little underwear and a tank top going like this, facing the camera. And what's his name? Oh, damn. The gentleman in question, the actor in question, has his back to the camera, doing a similar sort of pose in long baggy track pants and an oversized t-shirt.
Oh.
And I think Cameron Diaz looks fantastic. If I had her body, like 42 years old, however she is, I'd be showing it off too. Fantastic. That's not the point. Yeah. Why is he dressed? Why is he fully clothed? Why do we still live in this world where that's what it takes for men to go and see movies, to see Cameron Diaz in her underwear, but women are just gonna go and see some guy in some dumpy pair of pants? So
there's so many examples like that.
There's many. But I think with regards to the hair industry and There are lots of people who will probably be angry at me because, well, there's industry standards and how dare you challenge industry standards, you're putting the rest of us out of work and blah, 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 blah. And look, that's your journey. For me, it's more about a universal sort of feeling that everybody is on the same page. And I put the same amount of effort and work into everybody, and gender equality, needs to start with small strokes.
I just don't want to go to anyone else. Like, first of all,
what?
Like, well, first of all, I
Get your hair did? The hell? Why the hell would you do that?
Well, obviously I come to you because you're the best, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
Curse.
I wouldn't want, like, there should be more hairdressers like you.
Well, the funny thing is that if you were to challenge anybody who goes by the the industry standard that is present right now, where women pay about 3 times as much as men, they really wouldn't have an answer for you as to why they do it, other than that it's an industry standard that somebody set up a long time ago and they're following the rules, and they don't want to. But they wouldn't have an intellectual, social, politically responsible answer. They would just say it is the industry standard, and that doesn't mean that people get paid less for what they do. It's got nothing to do with that. We're talking about equality here. It's not about things being equal. It's not about how much one charges.
That kind of reminds me of like how like tuition costs in Ontario. How we all just kind of like accept it. Like Ontario has the highest tuition costs, I'm pretty sure. People in Quebec like fought.
They did. They went to the streets. They took to the streets and stood up.
They fought. They stood up and they said no. Like we're not gonna just stand here while tuition just considerably rises.
Mm-hmm.
And they made an effort. And I think that we could do a lot more of that.
I concur.
And that's the message for today.
www.done.com. All right.
Kind of like greasy too right
A
now.
little bit. Thanks for that.
I'm gonna try and put some apple cider vinegar in my hair because supposedly that gets rid of grease.
Candy.
Do you do that sometimes?
No.
You don't want to smell like a salad.
Yeah. No, I encourage clients who have dry hair to use avocado and mayonnaise. To prepare their hair with avocado and mayonnaise. All you viewers out there. It's protein and fat, which is what your hair tends to be lacking whenever it is dry and broken.
Oh, cool. We'll have to try that with veganase.
Veganase?
Yeah. That's my fridge right now.
Gross. I don't know if that has enough protein or fat in it.
Gluten-free's on everything, on all these labels now.
Oh, is
They're
it?
just like, yeah, it's like the
Celery.
There's gotta be bread. Come on.
I've seen it. Celery.
I like coconut water. I like the idea of coconut water. I don't like the taste of coconut water.
Oh, really?
It's a lot of trouble. I'm not gonna say what I think it tastes like to your camera.
So no, it's just-
They will not appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do that too. Like interesting.
Yeah. I tried it once and threw most of it away.
There was this time out there in the Dominican Republic, and one of the bartenders actually gave me a coconut.
Yeah.
He just like chopped the head off and gave me the coconut. I had it with me all day, like it was a lost dog. I couldn't freaking finish it. I'm like walking out of the shop with me like at the shopping mall with my coconut. The shop with me on the beach with my coconut. Shop with dinner with the same damn coconut still.
I love the ritual of showing the back.
Who gets to see that?
Oh yeah.
Snug.
So styles.
There you go, baby girl.
Okay.
And she has her funny shoes on today. She's so brave walking around with those shoes on.
I know, eh? Woo.
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel, thank you! Who's lost some weight for that film, and he looks kind of like Skeletor. I don't like it.